Send me to Congress and I will be your champion. Send me to Congress and I will see that you prosper. Send me to Congress and I will fight your battles as fearlessly as they are fought by that great newspaper on whose board of directors I have the honor to serve, the Daily Chronicle. I thank you. Well, how's the sound?
Well, it was stirring, TJ.
It was a fine speech, Mr. Blodgett. It was a real gas.
Yeah, well, thank you, Patty. I assume that is a compliment.
Well, it's even better than like wow.
What did you think, Martin?
Very effective speech.
Got me an ovation at the business club dinner last night.
Dinner? I almost forgot. You see, you're a real spellbinder. Excuse me.
TJ, that part about the Chronicle.
What about it?
Well, forgive me, but it does give the impression that you're our personal candidate.
Well, it's fine with me. People trust the Chronicle.
But you just serve on our board of directors, as you do in dozens of corporations.
Now, Martin, stop being such an old mother hen about that newspaper.
Well, I am the managing editor.
And a darn good one, too. One who's going even higher, if I have anything to say.
Do you hear that, Papa?
You're my boy, Martin. You stick with me, and when I'm elected...
And I'm sure you will be, Mr. Blodgett.
Well, I better be, after all those terrible political dinners that I've been dragged to.
I used to cover them. They call it the fried chicken circuit.
Fried chicken, yeah. I tell you, it's coming out of my ears.
Dinner's ready.
Ah, well, now that's good news, Natalie. I'm looking forward to a home-cooked meal.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. We're having fried chicken.
Who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll. A hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
And so, this November, the voters will elect a president, vice president, 33 United States senators, and 435 members of the House of Representatives.
Thank you, Kathy. Students, this is a very important election for all of you. The first in which you're old enough to take a serious interest, and I hope you'll take an active part in it.
How do we do that, Miss Gray?
Well, one way would be to start in your own neighborhood. Pick a candidate you admire and campaign for him.
Kathy and I know a man who's running for Congress this year, T.J. Blodgett.
Oh, yes, I read about him. Do you think he'd make a good congressman?
Oh, yeah, it'd be great. Right, Kat?
Why do you think so?
Well, he made a campaign speech right in our living room. It was terrific.
Really? Well, how does he stand on the important issues?
Issues?
Yes. For instance, aid to schools.
I don't know.
Medical care for the aged?
Search me.
Taxes, foreign aid, unemployment?
You didn't say.
Well, why are you so impressed with Mr. Blodgett?
Well, he looks like a congressman.
Well, that's hardly a reason, Patty. But if you do admire Mr. Blodgett, then you should go out and help him win.
I think it's a terrific idea. What do you think, Kat? I think we should do it. Right. Now is the time for all good girls to come to the aid of their party. And so, Kathy and I talked it over, and we've decided we want to help get Mr. Blodgett elected.
So you've decided to mount the hustings, huh?
The what?
Oh, that just means to campaign in an election.
Oh.
Well, TJ will be delighted.
Is it all right with you, Uncle Martin?
Oh, of course. I assume the two of you have both examined the issues and the candidates before you decided Mr. Blodgett was the man to back.
Yeah.
Because I'd want to be sure that you weren't enlisting because of what Mr. Blodgett said about helping me out down here at the Chronicle.
It never entered my mind.
Well, I'm glad of that.
You really think it could help make you editor?
No, Patty. And I would forbid you to campaign if that was your motive.
Really, it isn't, Uncle Martin. We admire Mr. Blodgett, and we think it would be good experience for us.
And it will. Lottie, if Mr. Blodgett's in the building, would you ask him to step in here, please?
I can't wait to mount the hustings.
Well, you realize this election is no walk-in. Now, the other candidate's a fine man.
Who is he, Uncle Martin?
His name is Clark Williams. He's a professor of political science at the State University.
Professor? I bet he never had to meet a payroll in his life.
Already, she sounds like a politician.
Well, hi. Patty, Kathy, you come by to help Martin put out the sheet?
Better than that, TJ. They want to campaign for you.
Do they now? Then I'm practically in Washington.
Can we start right now, Mr. Blodgett?
You sure can. You go over to my headquarters and talk to Bill Duffy. He's my campaign manager.
Patty and I would like to hear your views on the important campaign issues.
Well, you asked Duffy to let you see my program. He wrote it. I'll phone Bill to expect you. Well, Martin, I'm off to the board meeting. You know, we're going to talk about what happens when Arnold retires as editor.
Oh, boy.
Down, Patty.
Your dad's in good hands, Patty. So am I, with you two in my corner.
I wish we really could vote for you.
Well, now, maybe that could be arranged, Kathy. You talk to Duffy.
Oh, come on, Count, this is it.
Okay, Henry. Look, Henry, I know the candidate ate a pizza pie at Angelo's yesterday. Okay, Henry, okay. You'll get equal time. Tomorrow noon, I'll bring the candidate to your delicatessen.
Mr. Duffy?
Yeah?
Hi, I'm Patty Lane, and this is my cousin Kathy. We've come to mount the hustings.
The what?
To campaign for Mr. Blodgett. Didn't he call you?
Oh, yeah, you're the kids. Here, start handing out these buttons.
Oh, we'll be glad to. But, Mr. Duffy,
Yeah?
I'm on the school newspaper, and Kat's a genius at English composition.
So?
So we thought we'd like to make a real important contribution to the campaign.
You can. Start moving those buttons.
Mr. Duffy,
You still here?
Kathy plays the piano beautifully, and I dance a little.
So?
So we thought that, well, maybe if you wanted us to entertain at a rally or something.
Look, kid, we got a big sound truck that all day plays Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, and Barbra Streisand. You want to try to follow that act?
No, I guess not.
Okay, then, move.
Mr. Duffy.
What now? What now?
Well, Mr. Blodgett said you'd tell us how he feels about the important campaign issues.
Oh, he did?
As campaign workers, I feel we should know how he stands.
Okay, I'll tell you. He stands four square.
Four square for what?
For what he believes.
What does he believe?
That you should start moving those cotton-picking buttons. Bob, get me a...
Hello. My name is Kathy Lane, and I'd like to tell you about T.J. Blodgett, candidate for Congress.
What number are you calling?
SU7-3564.
I'm sorry, you have reached a special operator. Please hang up and dial again.
Yes, thank you.
Hello?
My name is Patty Lane, and I want to tell you about T.J. Blodgett, candidate for Congress in this district. Are you interested?
Sure.
That's great. T.J. Blodgett is a man of courage, ability, experience, and integrity. Elect him, and he will fight your battles in Congress. T.J. Blodgett wants and needs your support. Will you vote for him?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to ask my mommy. Hello?
Hello, my name is Kathy Lane, and I'd like to tell you about T.J. Blodgett.
Who?
T.J. Blodgett. He's running for Congress in this district.
In this district? Are you sure?
Oh, yes. I am speaking with William Smithers of 14 Oak Street, Brooklyn.
If you got a wrong number, I'm Ted Bauer. I live in Seattle, Washington.
Seattle?
You better dial again.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Kathy, I like your voice. Tell this Blodgett guy if he decides to run in Seattle, I'll vote for him. Bye. Who's there?
My name is Patty Lane, and I want to tell you about T.J. Blodgett, candidate for Congress in this district.
What about him?
He's a man of courage, ability, experience, and integrity. He wants and needs your support. Will you vote for him?
I will not.
Why not?
Because the guy he's running against is my brother-in-law.
Get your buttons, vote for Blodgett. Blodgett is the people's choice. Get your buttons, vote for Blodgett.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clark Williams.
Clark Williams. That's Mr. Blodgett's opponent. Get your buttons, vote for Blodgett. He must be holding a rally in there. Let's go heckle him. Come on. Oh, get your buttons, vote for Blodgett.
I am a professor of political science at State University.
Oh.
I have also served as a town councilman,
A real
city manager,
egghead.
state assemblyman. And during the post-war occupation, I was a lieutenant colonel on General MacArthur's staff, helping to bring democratic government to the Japanese people.
Did you know that, Patty? So what? So he's been to Japan.
My opponent, on the other hand, is a highly successful businessman who has never held any public office. Now let's see where we both stand on the issues. I favor more schools, more hospitals, and foreign aid to needy nations, and jobs for the unemployed.
I agree with that. Yeah, so do I. And you know something? It's kind of cute.
My esteemed rival also supports these measures, but he has simultaneously called for lower taxes, reduced spending, a balanced budget, and an end to what he calls coddling by government. Now, friends, I ask you, how can we build more schools and hospitals and homes while spending less money?
He's right. How can we?
Don't ask me.
Oh, why don't we go see Mr. Blodgett? You're right. He'll know. Come on.
How's the tie?
Tie's great. Let me the button. Oh, the collar. You look great, T.J.
Oh, hiya, girls. Hey, come on in and have your picture taken.
No, thanks, Mr. Blodgett. Could you spare a minute?
What, for my favorite constituents? Come back later, Joe. Now then, what can I do for you?
Well, Mr. Blodgett, you've come out for more schools and more hospitals and helping the needy and foreign aid.
That's right.
But you've also come out for lower taxes and a balanced budget and letting people help themselves.
That's right.
But how can we do both at the same time?
Now, who says we can't?
Oh, but you said that...
Patty, that's campaign talk. You gotta tell the voters what they want to hear.
Even if you can't deliver?
Kathy, I'm in politics now. The first job of a politician is to get himself elected.
Oh, but Mr. Blodgett...
Nah, you stop fretting your pretty heads. Come on, I'll blow you to Sundays at the malt shop.
Oh, maybe another time, Mr. Blodgett. Thank you.
You name it. And remember now, keep those buttons moving.
Patty, do you know what I think? I think so, too. What do we do now? Well, I suggest we retire to an unsmoke-filled room and caucus. Well, our duty is clear, Patty. We have to stop working for Mr. Blodgett. Right. And campaign for Professor Williams. Right. You mean like defect? Why not? Because we like Mr. Blodgett. He's a woolly lamb. That doesn't qualify him to sit in Congress. Catty, it'd be like ratting on the mob. Oh, I don't think so. We're not changing sides for selfish reasons. Yeah. We're standing up for what we believe in. And I believe that Mr. Blodgett is a woolly lamb who should stay out of politics. I second the motion. All in favor, say aye. 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 Meeting is adjourned. Kind of gives you a sense of power, doesn't it? Vote for Clark Williams. You'll be happy you did. Vote for Clark Williams. We need him. Thank you.
Well, hello, girls.
Hi, Papa.
Gee, you never stop, do you? I hope TJ realizes what you're doing.
Heaven forbid.
Hello, Kath.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Well, what's the latest message for the people?
Oh, it's same old stuff, you know.
Well, let's see. A vote for Clark Williams. Clark Williams?
Yes, Uncle Martin. He switched to Brand X. You're not angry, are you, Papa?
Oh, of course not. It's an old American custom.
Thank you, Uncle Martin.
When all this happened?
Well, we finally did what you told us to. We examined the issues and the candidates and took our stand.
Good for you. Did you break the news to TJ?
No, we just stopped coming around for buttons. Are you sure we did the right thing, Uncle Martin?
Following the dictates of your conscience? Absolutely.
I knew you'd say that, Papa. What was that line from Shakespeare you used to quote to me?
To thine own self be true.
To thine own self be true.
He was a pretty wise fella, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we better get on home.
Okay. Vote for Clark Williams.
And TJ has no idea.
None?
What'll happen when he finds out?
Nothing at all.
He'll be furious.
Nonsense. He's way ahead in the polls. Come election night and he's a winner, TJ will just laugh and forget about it.
Huh.
Mama, Papa, wait till you hear the news.
I'm not sure I want to.
What happened?
Miss Gray, our civics teacher, was asked to choose 2 kids to represent our school on the TV panel show Youth Must Be Heard. And she picked me and Kathy.
That's wonderful, Patty.
Congratulations.
We interview all kinds of famous people and ask all kinds of questions.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the show. What's the topic this week?
The congressional election in our district. I'll be quizzing Clark Williams and Mr. Blodgett. Imagine!
Welcome to Youth Must Be Heard, an unrehearsed public affairs program. Election Day is just 24 hours away. And so tonight, our youthful panel will question the rival candidates in one of the city's key congressional elections. Let's meet those candidates. First, Professor Clark Williams. And at the other side of the table, his opponent, Mr. T.J. Blodgett. Now let's meet our young panelists, all from local high schools. John Maynard, Albert Kramer, and 2 pretty cousins from Brooklyn Heights, Patty Lane and Kathy Lane.
Gee, the girls look so poised, don't they?
There she is. Hi, Patty.
Martin, I'm worried about what the girls will say.
Nonsense. What could happen?
Now let's start the questioning.
Mr. Williams, what made you decide to run for Congress?
Well, John, I believe today more than ever we need experts in government. And if I may say so, I feel that my Years of training in political science and my practical experience in public affairs qualifies me in a modest way as an expert.
Mr. Blodgett, what made you decide to run?
Well, no, I'm an amateur at this game, but frankly, it seems to me that the trouble in Washington is we have too darn many so-called experts now.
Mr. Blodgett, you have holdings in many different corporations.
Oils, automobiles, newspapers, textiles, department stores, you name it.
And when you're looking for men to run these businesses, whom do you choose? An amateur or an expert?
Why, an expert, of course. Oh, well, now that's different. I mean, it's business.
What made you
Boy,
decide?
she sure gave it to him.
Right between the eyes.
Well, now we know what can happen.
Professor Williams, do you feel you have any special knowledge of the problems and needs of the district you're running in?
Well, I should. I grew up in the district, married a neighborhood girl, and now I'm raising 3 children there.
Thank you. Mr. Blodgett, you don't live in the district, do you?
Now, you know I don't, Patty. You've been to our place in Dutchess County.
Oh, yes, it's a beautiful estate. Acres and acres along the Hudson.
That's right.
I'll bet it's almost as big as this congressional district.
Well, could be.
And Mr. Blodgett has horses up there, and sheep, and pigs, and prize cattle.
And chickens, too.
But hardly any people. And isn't it the people whose needs and problems our next congressman must know about?
Tear it off, Martin. I can't look.
My years of training in political science.
Oh, don't worry about it, Natalie. It's just a kid's TV program. It couldn't affect TJ's chances one bit.
Let's hope not. Or you may be the only managing editor of a New York newspaper with a permanent black eye.
And with 80% of the returns in from the district, here are the tallies. Clark Williams, 75,844. T.J. Blodgett, 18,300. Well, it's a landslide for Williams.
Yes, and right on our heads.
I'm awfully sorry, Aunt Natalie. We didn't realize.
We were only trying to be good citizens.
Of course you were. I'm proud of you, Patty.
So am I.
Now, where'd you get that, son?
Wonder who that could be?
You know that old saying, if anything wrong can happen, it will?
Yes?
I'll bet it's Mr. Blodgett.
Well, what a nice surprise, TJ.
I want a word with you.
Well, I guess we'll leave the grown-ups alone.
Sit still. I especially want both of you to hear this.
Oh, boy, I've done it again.
Well, I suppose you heard. I got clobbered.
Yes, TJ, I'm very sorry.
And you know who did it? These 2 teenage turncoats.
We had to do it, Mr. Blodgett.
We were only trying to be true to our own selves.
And you were. Which is more than can be said for me.
What?
Martin, these 2 kids taught me a lesson.
You mean you're not angry?
An hour ago, I was boiling, Natalie. I could have turned these kids over my knee and pow.
Couldn't blame you.
Then it hit me. You know, I deserve to lose. I'm a businessman. I'm no politician. Well, I've devoted so much time to business that I wasn't studying up on the issues. I was a fish out of water. But thanks to Patty and Kathy, I'm back where I belong.
TJ, you're quite a man.
Yeah.
I always said it. He's a woolly lamb. I vote for that.
Well, guess let's go over to the malt shop and have those sundaes I promised you, huh? Come on, Ross. What do you think?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only
only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Anything interesting? It's a letter from my father, Patty. How is Uncle Kenneth? He's fine. He's in Geneva covering a UNESCO conference. Twisty. Anything for me? I believe there is, Patty. Probably from the White House asking my advice on the economic situation. Thank you. Boston. I don't know anybody in Boston. It's from Kip. Who's Kip? Don't you remember Sue Ellen's cousin? That tall, dreamy, brilliant rich boy who's going to Harvard? Sue Ellen introduced us to him at the Shake Shack. Kathy? What's the matter? He's invited me up to Harvard for a weekend prom. Do you know what this means? I'll be the talk of Brooklyn Heights High. This is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me in my life. What'll I wear? What'll I wear? Patty, your mother and father haven't said you could go yet. Why wouldn't they let me go? Well, they might feel you're a bit young. Don't be silly. They wouldn't keep me from the biggest opportunity of my life. Gone home. Do you remember that tall, dreamy, brilliant Harvard man I told you about?
Yes, I do.
Well, he's invited me up to a prom in Boston next weekend. Isn't that my ball, Popper? I've got to get the train schedules to Boston.
Boy, he must be desperate.
Patty,
Yes, Papa?
you better find out if they know the train schedule's 2 years from now.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Imagine my own mother and father keeping me from going to a prom at Harvard. It's prehistoric.
If they hadn't stopped you, I would have. I don't want you going to any other dances with any other guys. And I'll tell you something else. The next time I see that guy, I'm gonna punch him right in the nose for asking you. And you can pay for your own ice cream.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's adolescent boys. What am I gonna do, Kath? I can't write and tell Kip my parents won't let me go. They'll think I'm a kid. You might try using psychology. Psychology? What good would that do? Don't you know that worlds have been conquered by the right word said to the right person at the right time? The right word said to the right person at the right time. Kathy, you're a genius.
is dinner going to be ready?
Dinner's been ready for 40 minutes. Patty's late.
Oh, she stopped off at the school library, Uncle Martin.
Patty did what?
Wish I'd said that.
You know, she has absolutely no sense of responsibility. I think it's time you had a little talk with her, Nat.
I intend to. My dinner's probably ruined.
Like, hi, everybody.
Like, hi yourself. Do you have any idea how late you are, young lady?
Yes, and it's absolutely inexcusable. I'm sorry to have been so thoughtless. I mean, you have enough on your mind running the household as brilliantly as you do without having to worry about me. I'll try to be more thoughtful in the future, Mom.
Well, that's all right, darling. You're not very late.
But in the future, Patty,
And I'm sorry to have kept you waiting for your dinner, Papo. After the kind of day you put in at the office, you have a right to expect your dinner on time.
Well, I guess it won't hurt me if it's a little late once in a while.
Thank you. Why don't we eat before she talks us out of it? Congratulations on that performance downstairs, Miss Freud.
That was great, wasn't I?
Did you hear Mama practically begging me to let her do the dishes? You almost had me hypnotized into doing it. Really, though, Patty, this is nothing to fool around with.
I'm not fooling. I mean it.
It's incredible. By using psychology, you can get anything you want.
Where's it been all my life?
What are you writing?
A letter to Kip accepting his invitation to the Harvard dance.
Accepting? Patty, your mother and father said you couldn't go to the dance.
That was BP.
BP?
Before psychology.
Kathy said you wanted to see me.
Oh, yes, Richard. I want to apologize.
Well, I should hope so. Going to a dance at Harvard with another guy.
I guess I'll just have to find some other way to do something for you.
Do something for me?
Yeah.
I should have known you're not the bragging type.
Of course not. What are you talking about?
Oh, I just wanted to see everybody's face when you told them that your girl went to a dance with a Harvard man who was crazy about her, but she preferred you.
Yeah?
And how you took pity on the college man and let me go so that his heart wouldn't be broken.
Poor devil.
And everybody would envy you, because you're going with the only girl at Brooklyn Heights High who was ever invited to a Harvard dance. Can't you just see their faces?
Patty,
Yes, Richard?
if it means that much to this guy, I don't suppose there's any harm in your going to one little dance with him.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that.
I'm telling you, it's all right.
I just wouldn't feel right about it, Richard.
Now, don't be selfish. The least you can do is go for my sake.
You really mean that?
I certainly do. I'm telling you to go to that dance.
Well, if you really feel that way about it, I'll do it. For you.
Thanks a million, Patty.
You should have heard him. He begged me to go to that dance.
It's incredible.
It's like a secret weapon. I could rule the world with this. Do you know what I love about you, Patty?
You never get carried away.
You know, I was wondering, should I wear a sheath or a full skirt?
Haven't you forgotten one small detail?
What's that?
Your mother and father. They said you couldn't go to the dance.
I told you, before I'm through with them, they'll plead with me to go.
I don't believe it.
Oh, no? Just keep an eye on the old master.
Martin, this apple looks more like an orange.
Maybe you've invented a new fruit.
Are you ready, Patty? Oh, I'm not going, Kathy. You run along without me. But everyone's expecting you. Will there be a big crowd there? Of course. There always is at a pre-game rally. Oh, then I think I'll just stay home and read a book.
You have a good time. All right. If you're sure. Oh, I'm sure. Good night, Aunt Natalie, Uncle Martin.
Good night, Kath.
Have a good time, dear. Patty, I thought you liked these rallies.
Oh, I used to. Mom, when you were my age, did you ever suddenly find yourself shy about being in crowds?
I don't think so.
I guess it's just a teenage phase I'm going through. I'll probably get over it someday. Maybe.
Martin, I think I'll put some coffee on. Would you like some?
Good idea. I'll come with you.
I knew something was wrong. Patty hasn't been out one night this week. I'm worried.
Well, you heard what she said. It's just a phase she's going through.
I don't like it. She didn't go to the shake shop with the kids after school. Yesterday, when they went bowling, Patty stayed home. Now that I think of it, she has been avoiding crowds. Why, that's not like Patty.
No, certainly isn't.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
Why don't you just leave her alone?
Oh, we have to help her get over this.
Well, how?
By making her go out.
You can't force her to go out.
Oh, we won't force her. It should be something that she wants to do. Do you remember the Harvard dance that she wanted to go to? Well, maybe we could let her go to that to sort of break the ice.
I thought we decided we didn't want her to go to that. Would mean a whole weekend away from us.
One weekend won't matter. Besides, she'll be very well chaperoned.
Wait a minute. I mean, what if she doesn't want to go?
Well, she just simply has to. Martin, there are times when a parent must do the thinking for a child. We just won't take no for an answer. Come on.
Patty?
Yes, Papa?
You haven't been out one night this week, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that is your mother, and I, both of us, we were thinking that maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea if you did go out more.
I don't want to go out.
Well, we just mean to do something you like. For instance, you asked whether you could go to that dance at Harvard.
Oh, that?
You were very excited about the idea of going.
There'd be millions of people there.
People. You know, crowds are just a lot of individuals. If you take them one at a time, they're not so bad.
We'd like you to go to that dance, Patty.
I thought you didn't want me to go.
Well, we changed our minds.
That's really very nice of you, but don't worry about me.
Honey, I think you'd have a wonderful time.
I don't think so.
Of course you would. And Kip sounds like a fine boy.
Oh, he's nice enough.
Then will you do it?
Do you really want me to?
Very much.
All right, then I'll do it.
Oh, that's wonderful, darling.
Patty, thank you.
That's all right, Papa. Well, I better get to that rally. I mean, if I'm going to go up to Harvard, I may as well start warming up with smaller crowds.
We did it.
Natalie.
Yes, dear?
Oh, nothing. That was just a crazy idea that occurred to me.
What idea?
Forget it. That's just my suspicious nature. That's what happens when you've been a newspaper man all your life. Why don't we finish making that coffee?
Telegram for Patty Lane?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Will you sign here? Thank you.
It's for Patty.
Well, I hope nothing's wrong.
Oh, it's one way to find out. Received your letter. Great you can come to the prom. See you Friday. Gung ho. Signed, Kip.
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like a puppet on a string.
We should have caught on when she talked about being shy around crowds. Patty's about as shy as a Sherman tank.
She must have written Kip days ago accepting this invitation.
She was pretty sure of us.
Martin, what are we going to do about this?
Well, how do you make the punishment fit the crime? As far as I can see, the only thing she's guilty of is outsmarting us. She wanted to go to that dance, so she used psychology to get us to ask her. I have to admit, that's pretty bright.
Well, I would have felt better if she had just come out in the open and asked us.
Well, she did. Remember? We said no.
So we did. Well, now what? Do we just forbid her to go?
How can we? We talked her into it. Anyway, I have a better idea. I took a little psychology in school myself.
Good morning, group.
Morning, dear.
Morning, Patty.
Morning.
Kathy tells us you enjoyed that rally last night.
Yeah, it was it was all right. There were an awful lot of people there.
Well, there'll be a lot of people in Boston, too. But you'll be fine.
I'm going to try.
Oh, good for you. It's a lovely city.
You'll meet a lot of boys up there.
A lot of them will be looking for wives. Just don't come back engaged.
Me? Don't worry about that.
That's just what my cousin Fran said when she went to a prom at Harvard. She was just about your age.
What happened, Dad?
Well, her date sent his roommate to pick her up at the railway station. And it was love at first sight. She never even got to the prom. He swept her right off her feet. They were married that night.
Those Harvard men are pretty impulsive, aren't they?
Oh, they are. When I was in high school, my best girlfriend got invited to a Harvard prom. I never saw her again.
What happened to her?
Oh, the Harvard men just swept her off her feet. She had 3 proposals of marriage. Oh, poor Tilly didn't want to get married, but they just wouldn't take no for an answer. Oh, they're very persuasive up at Harvard.
You know, I can remember the first weekend I spent away from home. I was just about your age, Patty.
Were you excited?
Very. Oh, you'll be a little bit nervous at first, of course. You'll be all alone among a lot of strangers. Well, actually, you won't really know anyone, except Kip, of course.
I only met him once.
And you'll be sleeping in a strange place in another city, away from your home and family. Do you know what really surprised me when I got home from that first weekend? Everything seemed changed. It was as though I'd been gone for a couple of years. Even the house looked smaller.
I'm only going to be gone for a weekend.
And it'll be a marvelous weekend. We have to think about what you're going to wear. Perhaps we should buy her a new dress. Something that'll sweep the men off their feet.
Mom?
Yes?
Let's not make me too irresistible.
Why, Patty, you're the envy of Brooklyn Heights High.
That's great.
All the girls are green. Hey, do you think you could get a date for me up there?
I'll talk to Kip and see what he can do.
Just don't let Kip get you in the moonlight. He has a great line.
He has?
Sure. But he's a living doll. He's your cousin, isn't he? Uh-huh. If he weren't, I'd marry him myself.
Who said anything about marriage?
Yeah, look, college prom is a great place to meet men, isn't it? Let's face it, you're not traveling up there to see Boston.
Sue, maybe I'm a little young for Kip.
Don't worry. He'll make you feel older.
Oh.
They just can't send me to Boston. I'm a kid.
Patty, you begged your mother and father to let you go.
Well, they should have said no. If there's anything I can't stand, it's over-permissive parents.
Well, I'm not going to be pushed out of the nest. They're not getting rid of me that easily. No one is trying to get rid of you.
Oh, no? Everyone who goes up to Boston comes back either engaged or married. Well, no one is going to force me to go to that dance.
Patty, you've already made the arrangements. You can't let Kip down now. Boy. How? How do I get myself into these messes? It's a talent, Patty, and you've got it.
I was going to rule the world. I can't even handle Brooklyn Heights.
What am I going to do, Kathy? Why don't you consult an expert? There's one in the next room. Thank you.
Come in.
Can I talk to you a minute, Papa?
Yeah, sure. Is anything wrong?
Everything's wrong. You know the trouble with the psychology bit?
What?
It works.
Does it?
I don't want to go to Boston.
Because you hate crowds?
No, sir. I just said that so you and Mom would make me go to the dance. I'm afraid I wasn't being very honest. I'm sorry. I got carried away again.
You know, Patty, there's nothing wrong with psychology. You can use it to make people feel better or to make things go smoother. But it's only when you start using it deliberately to manipulate people that it becomes dangerous. It's a very strange thing. When you start using people to get what you want, you usually find out that what you've got isn't what you really wanted after all.
I understand. It won't happen again.
Well, glad to hear that.
I came in to see if you knew any way that I could get out of going to the dance.
Oh, yeah, I think there is.
How?
Well, you might sit down and write a note to Kip.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And tell him I have the measles or something.
Just tell him the truth.
You mean my age and everything?
Yeah.
Couldn't I lie about that just a little bit? No, I guess not. Okay. You're right, Papa. Thank you.
I'll write him a special delivery right away. That way he'll have time to get another date.
Poor devil. There go 3 years out of my life.
Martin, does this look like a banana to you?
Sure it does. Which one?
Thanks a lot.
F-R-U-G. Patty, that's not the way you spell frog. Frug. Frug. It's a dance, not an animal. Psycho. And I'm out. Congratulations. That's 17 in a row you've won.
I'll get it. That's all right. I'll beat you next time.
Papa,
Mm-hmm.
can I have an advance on my allowance?
No.
Can I go to the movies tonight?
No.
Can I have that new dress I wanted?
No.
Isn't it great? The word no doesn't bother me at all anymore. I feel like a new woman specs worn off psychology.
So do I.
Hi, Rich.
Never mind the hi, Rich. I've been thinking it over, Patty. You're not going to that dance at Harvard.
Oh.
And don't think you're going to talk me into it. I know all about these college men, and I'm going to be one myself in 2 years. And if you want a college man, you can wait for me. Is that clear?
Yes, Richard, if that's the way you want it.
That's the way I want it.
Don't you love a masterful man? Come on, let's go down to the shake shop. Bye.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
What's going on down there? Patty? Patty, are you all right? Me? Sure, fine. You mean you were just sitting here screaming and you're fine? Are you in some kind of trouble? Why is it every time something happens around here, everybody jumps to the conclusion that I'm in trouble? So, something has happened. Do you want to tell me about it? I can't. I can't tell anyone about it. All right. Then would you mind not screaming while I'm on top of a ladder? Kath? Yes? If I tell you, will you promise not to tell anybody? If you don't want me to, of course not. They've accepted me for the Peace Corps. They've what? I sent in an application about 6 weeks ago, and I just got this letter telling me to report. Pat, you're not old enough. Oh, so I stretched my age a little. It's the spirit that counts. I didn't even know they had a branch in Brooklyn Heights. Brooklyn Heights? I'm going to Africa!
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll. A hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Patty, can't be serious about going to Africa with the Peace Corps. It's all set. What are your mother and father going to say? What can they say? I'm doing this for my country. I finally found something worthwhile to dedicate my life to. And nothing's going to stop me. When do you leave? I report to the training camp in 2 weeks. They say it's pretty rugged. I have to pass all kinds of exercise courses, and then they have classes in native customs and so on. You don't know anything about Africa. Oh, don't worry. By the time I get there, I'm going to be an expert. Listen to what I'm going to say. What did you say? Take me to your leader. Oh, God.
Don't stop. Go on playing. It sounded good.
I thought we were being attacked by the Indians.
Where'd you get the drum, Patty?
I borrowed it to do some research with.
That's African, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw the masks in your room. You're getting very interested in Africa, aren't you, Patty?
Well, it's a fascinating country, Aunt Natalie.
Yeah. I thought the masks were of her.
Well, you'd make a great shrunken head.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to dream of going to Africa on a safari.
Yeah? Me too.
Well, who knows? Perhaps we'll all go one day.
Yeah. Or maybe just some of us.
Kichwa vili vinatosha.
What are you doing? Oh, brushing up on my Swahili. Listen to this.
Kibanda kinya viumba vitatu.
The hut has 3 rooms. Oh, good. I wouldn't want it to be crowded.
Kikome kime vunjika kuna kotumatano.
The cup was broken on Wednesday. Oh, here's another one.
Angalia, ondogere ingojena, hatakusema.
Leave this place and bring me your dog. Well, what if no one breaks a cup on Wednesday and they don't have a dog? You want to hear me count to 10? No.
Moja, mbili, tatu, nane, sita, tano, sada, nne, tisa, kumi.
How about that? Well, if you ever run across anyone with 10 broken cups in a 3-room hut, you'll be a smash. Paduga Paco si Pacubua pa Huencio.
What's that?
You're out of your head. What are you doing? I'm getting in shape. I thought you said they got you in shape down at the camp. Oh, yeah, well, I'm getting in shape. To get in shape, I don't want to flunk the test. Hey, you want to see me do something graceful? Watch this. You ready? Oh, Captain! Help me, will you? Pass me to my arm. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait! Patty! What are you doing? It must be 100 degrees in here. Uh-huh. That's the idea. I'm getting used to the heat. Those jungles can be murder. Oh, Ross! Do me a favor, will you?
No,
There's a quarter in it.
that's different. What do you want?
A green salamander.
You know, for a minute, I thought you said you wanted a green salamander.
That's what I said.
And you give me a quarter for it?
That's right.
I'll make you a deal. 5 for $1.
One will be plenty, thanks.
I'll be right back.
What do you want a green salamander for? It says here that we have to live like the natives of the country we're in. Share the same kind of living accommodations, eat the same kind of food. In some parts of Africa, green salamanders are considered a rare delicacy.
Here he is.
Oh, here's your quarter.
Boy, you don't know the trouble I went through getting him. What are you gonna do with him?
Gonna eat him.
You're funny.
Green, isn't he? They usually are. Yeah. Well, he looks delicious. He's jumping around. I wonder if he has enough air in there. What difference does it make? He's not a pet. He's your lunch. Yeah. Gee, he's awfully thin. You think I should have a fatter one? You're starving. I am not. It's just he looks so young. His mother and father could be looking for him. Hello. Hello, little fella. Aw, he's really cute. He has a personality. Why don't you do a circus act with him and eat him as an encore? Very funny. Ross! Aren't you going to eat him?
How can I? I've grown accustomed to his face.
Take him out and let him go.
You mean you don't want him anymore?
I had a big breakfast.
Boy, your husband's gonna lead an interesting life.
Let's see what other native foods they have. Oh, here's one. Grass soup. Sounds delicious. Smells great. It smells like a lawn at high noon. Want to taste some? No, thank you.
Beautiful.
Well, how was your crossing?
Needs mowing.
What's all this about Patty and the Peace Corps?
Oh, Richard, you've got to talk to her. This time she's really gone too far.
Yeah, Africa's about as far as you can go. When did all this happen?
Do you remember those pictures they showed about the Peace Corps in school about 6 weeks ago?
Sure. Volunteers working in Tanganyika.
Well, you know Patty. She got carried away again. She sent in an application, and they accepted her.
But you have to be 18.
She figures that by the time they find out she's not 18, she will have saved Africa.
Where is she now?
Up in her room.
Just leave her to me.
Thank you, Richard. Come in. Oh, hi, Rich. What are you doing here?
I just happened to be on a safari, and I thought I'd drop in. What's this about going to Africa?
Yeah. I'm going to join the great humanitarians. Albert Schweitzer, Clara Barton, Betsy Ross, Patty Lane.
Have you told your mother and father yet?
No, and I'm not going to tell them till the last minute. Then they won't be able to stop me. I'm calling it Operation Hush Hush.
Oh, why don't you call it Operation Nut Nut?
What's the matter? Have you got something against the Peace Corps?
Against it? I'm trying to protect it. What do you think your folks are going to say when they find out?
What can they say, Richard? I'm doing it for my country.
Well, what do you know about Africa?
Heaps! I've read every one of these. Africa, the Dark Continent, Land of the Mau Mau, Bobo, the Jungle Boy, Customs in Africa.
Well, what are you going to do there?
I am going to teach them English.
You? Teach English?
What is so funny about that?
Well, I wonder how you say longitioso, gung-ho, and bye in Swahili.
Don't you worry. I'm not going to have any trouble communicating with them. You know, a lot of people think that the Peace Corps just wants college graduates and experts. But that's not true. A little skill can go a long way in those countries. Rich, why don't you come with me?
Me? Go to Africa?
Yeah.
My father wouldn't even let me go to the game in Hoboken last night.
Okay. You're missing a great adventure. I'll think of you at night, Richard. When the campfires are lighted. And all around me, I hear the roar of the lions. And the tromp, tromp, tromp of the elephant herds.
Sure sounds exciting.
Yeah. Just think. The jungles are alive with millions of animals that don't exist anywhere else in the world. Ah! It's like a primeval paradise. Man, pitted against raw nature. Well, did you talk her out of it?
Talk her out of it? She darn near talked me into it.
Hi, Patty.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Can I talk to you?
Sure. Pull up a chair. You want a soda?
Oh, no, thanks. This is official business. I want to do an interview for the school paper.
Sure. Anything for the good old bugle.
There's this crazy rumor going around that you're going to Africa with the Peace Corps.
Miti mitano ilitosha.
What?
Take off your shoes when you come into the garden.
Yeah. Well, is it true?
Naam.
No.
Naam means yes. I seem to be the only one around here who knows what I'm talking about.
What made you decide to go?
Well, Tom, we have to do what we can, where we can, when we can. I want to light a candle in the darkness. I have a fantastic ear for languages. Mto, mbuzi, kaka, faruha.
bunga bunga.
Take the goat out of the house.
It's awfully quiet around here. Wonder where the kids are.
Oh, they'll be along soon. It's almost dinner time.
Oh, Brooklyn Heights Bugle. See what our competition is doing. Hey, look at this. Brooklyn Heights girl going to Africa for the Peace Corps. Isn't that exciting? I wonder if Patty knows her.
Think how proud her parents must be.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Come in. Hi, folks.
Oh, what are you all dressed up for?
Me? Dressed up? It's for a school play. I was rehearsing.
Well, you didn't tell us anything about it.
Well, it came up suddenly.
Well, what's it about?
It's, the play is about this girl.
What's the plot?
Well, she gets tired of people saying that teenagers are nothing but juvenile delinquents. So, she decides to do something about it. She joins the Peace Corps and tries to help people who aren't as lucky as she is.
Is she lucky?
Oh, yeah. She's got everything. Wonderful mother and father. Great kid brother. Beautiful home.
And she's willing to give all that up to go to faraway places and help others?
She feels she has to. Somebody has to do it.
She sounds like quite a girl, this character.
Nah. She's pretty average. She just figures it's time she started giving. Can't take all your life, Papa.
How does the play end?
She goes off to Africa and tries to do a good job.
The minimum period of service in the Peace Corps is 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
I imagine that would be rather hard on her mother and father.
She's sorry about that.
She is.
Mm-hmm. She's not trying to hurt anyone. She's just trying to do something good. Something important. For the first time in her life.
Well, it sounds like a very interesting play. We'll be sure to go see it.
Yes, we must. We've got to stop her.
We can't just say no to her, Nat. Not about something as important as this. We have to find some way to make her realize she mustn't go.
How do we do that?
We pray for a miracle. Who knows? That could be it.
Like, hi.
Oh, it's you. Hello, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Is Patty ready?
I don't think she's dressed to go bowling.
Oh, we're not going bowling. I'm taking her to the hospital.
To the hospital? Is she sick?
Nope. She's a volunteer nurse, and this is her night to work there.
A volunteer nurse?
Sure. Patty does a lot of stuff like that.
Does she? Come on in, Richard. Tell us about this work that Patty does, Richard. Sit down.
Oh, thanks. Well, last month, she was in charge of an old clothes drive at the settlement house. And before that, she made speeches for the Fresh Air Fund. She raised quite a bit of money. Patty's a talker.
She didn't say one word about any of this.
Well, what is there to say? You just do it because you want to help. Patty works with the orphan kids at the settlement house. She reads to them and tells them stories. She's great.
Is she?
Have an apple, Richard.
Oh, thanks. And next month, the care drive is coming up. She'll be working on that. Next month is going to be a very exciting month.
Did you know Patty was going to Africa?
Africa? I'm sure glad you asked me that, sir. What was that question?
Never mind. I think you've already answered it. You know what you are, Richard?
A stool pigeon.
You're a miracle man. Natalie, would you entertain our guest for a few minutes? I'm going to go up and talk to our daughter.
Good luck.
Patty'll kill me.
Patty!
Yeah, Papa?
Richard's here to pick you up.
Richard?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot. It's Thursday night. Okay, will you tell him I'll be right down?
Mm-hmm. Where are you off to?
Oh, I'm just going to spend a couple of hours downtown.
With the orphan children?
That Richard has a big mouth.
Well, you're not ashamed of it, are you?
No, of course not. But I figure there are talkers and there are doers. If you're going to do something, do it, and don't talk about it.
It's an interesting philosophy. You enjoy your work there?
Oh, yeah. Talk about characters. You should meet some of them sometime. There's this one little boy, Slugger Smith, always laughing. And another little girl. Her name is Babe X. Isn't that a nutty name? She spells a capital E-X. She has beautiful long black hair and great big brown eyes. She's going to grow up to be a dress designer. There's another little girl. Susie Harvey. She has a beautiful voice. She can sing anything.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I bring her a record album one week, and the next week she has the whole thing memorized.
No kidding.
The greatest character of all is little Petey Peterson. You know, I bring him books on rockets and planes and things, and he doesn't read them. He eats them. He's going to grow up to be an astronaut. You know what he did on my last birthday? He built me a rocket, and I lit the thing, and it took off into the air, and a streamer came out of it spelling happy birthday. All the kids stood around singing happy birthday. I cried like a baby.
Kids must really love you a lot.
Oh, they've done a lot for me, Papa. More than I've done for them.
I'll bet they'd miss you terribly if you went away.
What do you mean?
Well, I was thinking about this play of yours, this girl who goes off to join the Peace Corps.
Yeah?
Well, you know, she sounds like the kind of a girl who'd be involved in worthwhile projects at home, too.
I guess so.
You know, I'd like to suggest a change in the plot of that play.
What kind of change?
Well, supposing this girl were too young to go off to Africa.
But she's not too young.
Well, now, let me finish. And supposing that it weren't really necessary for her to go anywhere to do the things that she wants to do. And she's interested in helping people who really need help, right?
Right.
Well, don't you see, Patty, if she went away to help other people, she'd be walking out on Babe X and Susie Harvey and Petey Peterson, wouldn't she?
I'm not walking out exactly. She has to do it.
Of course, on the other hand, maybe they'd never even miss her.
Oh, yes, they would. They'd miss her. You really think she'd be walking out, huh?
I think the most important thing she can do is to finish the work she started.
You knew there was no play.
Yeah.
You and Mom very angry?
No, angry is not the word, honey. The word is proud.
Thank you, Papa. I suppose I should have told you. I guess I just got carried away by the glamour of it. You can call eating green salamanders and grass soup glamorous.
Now, you know, someday, if you want to get involved in something like the Peace Corps, I think it would be wonderful.
Okay, when I'm old enough, I'll go. Until then, the rest of the world will have to wait until I take care of North America.
Good.
I'll be the only girl in Brooklyn Heights High who speaks Swahili.
getting kind of hungry. Where's Patty?
I'm sure she'll be along any minute.
Well, she invites me to dinner, and she's not even here.
I think she went to pick up her date.
Her date? I'm her date.
Oh, she's interested in somebody else, Richard.
When she's got me?
That's women for you.
Oh, hi, group. Sorry I'm late. Come on in, group. There we go. I'd like you to meet Slugger Smith, and this is Babe X. She's the dress designer. And this is Susie Harvey. She's going to sing for us after dinner. And here's Petey Peterson. He brought his rocket along. He's going to show us how it works.
Hi, kids. Welcome to the Lane home.
Why didn't somebody tell me?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind.